Here we are looking at averages from frequency tables. So we're going to be finding the mean, the median, and the mode when information is displayed in a table. So here is a table that shows information about the number of points scored in a game. So it's telling us the frequency. Frequency means how many. So 5 times 1 point was scored. 4 times there were 2 points. 1 time there were 3 points. And 2 times there were 4 points. So if this was written as a list, there'd be 5 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. There'd be 4 twos, 1 3, and 2 fours. So this list is the same, it's given the same information as this table. The mode is the most common. So what number of points was scored the most often? So 1 point was scored 5 times. There are 5 ones. That's more than any other number of points. So 1 is the mode. It's the most common score. The median is the middle number. And here we have, well, we've got 5 plus 4, which is 9, plus 1, 10, plus 2, 12. So 12 numbers in total. The median is the middle. So if you imagine you put 6 on each side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 on one side, 6 on the other side, the median, the middle, is halfway in between the 6th and the 7th number. They're both 2, so the median is 2. Find the total number of points scored. So we can either add up these numbers in the list, but we don't really want to do that. We want to use a table. So we can multiply across the table. So there are 5 lots of 1 point. 5 times 1 is 5. There are 4 lots of 2 points. 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 3 points, so 3. And 2 fours, that's 8. So what is the total number of points? 5 plus 8 plus 3 plus 8. So 5 plus 8 is 13. Plus 3 is 16. Plus 8 is 24. So there were 24 points scored in total. Find the mean number of points. To find the mean, we add all the numbers up. So add all the numbers of points up, which is 24. And divide by how many numbers there are. Divide by the total frequency. And the total frequency is 12. There are 12 numbers. So 24 over 12 is 2. The mean is 2 points. Okay, here is one for you to try. If you feel able to do it, give it a go. Otherwise, you can keep watching. So now we've got a table showing us information about the number of goals scored in a game, in each game, per game, by a football team. Write down the mode. So let's read this table. There are 7 times there were no goals. 9 times they scored 1 goal. 10 times they scored 2 goals. And 2 times they scored 3 goals. So what was the most common number of goals they scored? It was 2 goals. So the mode is 2. They scored 2 goals 10 times. Find the median. So to find the median, we're going to add up the frequency first. So we've got 7 and 9, which is 16, plus 10, 26, plus 2, 28. So there's 28 games played. If we want to find the median, we need to find the middle number. So if you imagine this can be split into 2 14s, so the median is halfway between the 14th and 15th number. So the first 7 numbers are all 0. And then we've got 9 ones. 7 and 9 makes 16. So that's up to 16 numbers now. So we've got 7 zeros, then 9 ones, and we've gone past 14.5. So the median number was 1. If we listed them all out, we'd have 7 zeros, 9 ones, 10 twos, and then 2 threes. The middle number would be 1. Find the mean number of goals scored. So we're going to add them all up and divide by how many. So we know there were 28 games. So we're dividing by 28. How can we add up the total number of goals? We times across. So 7 zeros, that's no goals. 9 ones, that's 9 goals. 10 twos, that'll be 20. And 2 threes is 6. So 9 plus 20 is 29. Plus 6 is 35. So it's going to be 35 over 28. And we could use a calculator to work that out. Or we could simplify it. So they're both in the 7 times table. So it's actually going to be 5 over 4, which is 1.25. So the mean number of goals scored, 1.25. On average, it's 1.25 goals per game. Okay, here's another question. This time we have a missing number. So we're told a football team has scored 37 goals in total. Find the value of X. So we know they've scored no goals 5 times, 1 goal 12 times. We don't know how many times they've scored 2 goals, but they've scored 3 goals 3 times. So we can add up how many goals we've got so far. So 5 zeros times across the table. 5 times 0 is 0. 12 times 1, 12 lots of 1 is 12. We don't know the frequency for the 2 goals, so we'll leave that. And 3 threes are 9. So how many goals do we have so far? 0 plus 12 plus 9 is 21 goals. So we know the total should be 37, but we've only got 21. And if we do 37 take away 21, which is 16, that tells us what this should equal. So this should be 16. There's 16 goals missing. And so 2 goals times X, a missing number, is equal to 16. 2 times something equals 16. I'll write 2x equals 16. And if this was an equation we're solving, we divide both sides by 2. And we get x is equal to 8. So they scored 2 goals 8 times. Okay, one of these for you to try. So give this one a go. So this time we're told a total of 72 points were scored. So we know it has to add up to 72. Let's calculate how many points we've got so far. So 1.6 times makes 6. 11 twos make 22. And 5 fours are 20. So what do we have so far? 6 plus 22 plus 20. 6 plus 22 is 28. Plus 20 is 48. So we've got 48 goals here. We know 48 points, sorry. We know there are 72 in total. So 72, take away 48. What do you have to add on to 48 to get to 72? So add on 20 to get to 68, and then 4 more, so 24. So there must be a total of 24 here. So 3 times x, 3 times something, equals 24. So 3x is 24. Divide both sides by 3, and x is 8 again. In this example, you can see that the table has ranges of values. So instead of knowing the exact value, in this case the height of plants, instead of knowing the exact height of the plants, we just know a range. So we know there are 8 plants between 30 and 40 centimeters. There are 18 plants between 40 and 50 centimeters. There are 21 between 50 and 60, and there are 3 between 60 and 70. So we don't know the exact heights, but we know a range that the heights are in. The first question says write down the modal class. So that means the most common class, the most common range of values. So which has the highest frequency? The most common is between 50 and 60. So that's the modal class. So we write between 50 and 60. Find the class interval that contains the median. So there are 50 in total. So if we've got 50, we've got 25 on one side, 25 on the other side. So we're looking for halfway between the 25th and 26th plant. So if we line them up in order, there's 8 between 30 and 40, then 18 between 40 and 50. That takes us up to 26 plants. So we were looking for the 25th and 26th plant. So they're both in the 40 to 50 range. So that is the class interval that contains the median. The median is in between 40 and 50 centimeters. And find an estimate for the mean height. So you can see this is an estimate for the mean height. We're not going to be able to calculate the exact mean height because we don't know how tall each of the plants are. We just know the 8 plants are between 30 and 40. 18 are between 40 and 50. So we don't know the exact heights. So this is going to be an estimate for the mean. The way we're going to do it is by guessing, estimating that all 8 of these plants are in the middle of this range. So that will be 35. So the midpoint times the frequency this time. We're going to say all 18 of these plants are 45 centimeters tall. Again, the middle of the range. Halfway in between 40 and 50 is 45. Halfway between 50 and 60 is 55. And halfway between 60 and 70 is 65. So what we're saying is we've got 8 plants that are 35 centimeters tall, 18 plants 45 centimeters tall, 21 plants 55 centimeters tall, and 3 plants 65 centimeters tall. That's our best estimate. Going for the middle of the group is the best estimate that we can do. So let's work out what is 8 times 35. So 8 times 35 is 280. So these 8 plants in total are 280 centimeters tall. 18 times 45 is 810. 21 times 55 is 1155. And 365s is 195. So if we add up all of these, this will be the heights of all 50 plants added together, or our estimate for what the heights of the 50 plants added together will be. And we're going to divide that by 50 because we have 50 plants. 8, 18, 21 and 3 make 50. Because we were told that in the question. So let's add these up. So 280 plus 810 plus 1155 plus 195 adds up to 2440. So we're going to do 2440 divided by 50. And that is 48.8. So our estimate for the mean height of the plants is 48.8 centimeters. And you can see that looks like a sensible answer. It's somewhere in the middle, 48.8 centimeters. So that is our estimate for the mean height. Okay, last question. So pause the video and give this a go. The times of 40 runners in a race were recorded. So we've got time in minutes, and we are giving we're not given the exact times again. We just know the range. So 6 runners were between 15 and 20 minutes. 12 were between 20 and 25. 15 were between 25 and 30. And 7 were between 30 and 35. So we're asked for the first question, for the modal class, the most common time. So there are 15 in between 25 and 30. So that's the most common class, the most common range. So it's 25 to 30. Part B finds an estimate for the mean time taken. So we're going to add them all up and divide by how many. But we don't know the exact times. So as an estimate, we're going to use the midpoints. So for these 6 runners, we're going to say they finished in halfway between 15 and 20, which will be 17.5. We're going to say that these 12 took 22.5 minutes. These 15 took 27.5 minutes. And these 7 took 32.5 minutes. So it's halfway, the midpoint. We use a midpoint. When we estimate the mean, we use the middle. So halfway between 30 and 35 is 32.5. So we're going to add them all up by timesing across 6 17.5s is 105. 12 22.5s is 270. 15 27.5s is 412.5. And 7 32.5s is 227.5. So the total time taken, the total number of minutes taken, is going to be all of these added up, and we're going to divide that by the total frequency, which is 40. We're told that in the question, or we can add 6 plus 12 plus 15 plus 7. So there were 40 runners in total, and we need to add up their total time, or our estimate for their total time. Which is 1015 minutes. So our estimate for the mean is going to be 1015 divided by 40. and that's 25.375, or to one decimal place, 25.4 minutes. We could have also given it as a time if we use the time button, but we weren't asked to, so we're not going to do that.